Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and I want to welcome all those who might be new here. I hope you enjoy the kind of content that I have created. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you continue to tune in to my channel and stay up to date with what I have to share with you. Alright, let's get started. Today I am talking about SIBO. SIBO is an acronym for small intestine bacterial overgrowth. So obviously it's in the small intestine. There is an overgrowth of bacteria. It could be good or bad. Bacteria is supposed to be composed in the colon and the large intestine, not in the small intestine. So this is where SIBO gets its name. They don't really know what causes it completely, I guess. One of the leading factors is food poisoning. It could be genetics and epigenetics. There are a lot of things, including even like antibiotics could cause it. It's just a newly studied disease, if you will, autoimmune, and they haven't quite figured it out yet. So for as long as I can remember, probably back when I was like 4 or 5 years old, still have not figured it out. I still don't have regular bowel movements. I have bloating and constant like aching in my stomach after eating certain foods or just foods in general, and it can be really frustrating. So anyone else who might be dealing with SIBO or what is known as IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, I feel you on that. So it is actually people who are identified and diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome. 40% of those people actually have SIBO. So if you are one of them, I would highly recommend getting tested for SIBO, and they can test in multiple ways. But I would suggest getting tested by your breath. So it's a 3-hour test. You drink this lactulose or glucose. I would recommend doing the lactulose test because it stays in your system, whereas the glucose will actually get absorbed by your system. If you're doing it, do the lactulose. It's a 3-hour breath test, and they will test for either methane or hydrogen coming out of your breath. They can treat your SIBO that way. Things that I have been doing in addition to just researching online, I actually listened to a podcast by Phoebe Lapine. The title of it is SIBO Made Simple. If you want to check it out, check her out. She's on Spotify and Instagram. Then in addition to that, I have a couple low FODMAP cookbooks and just like books for beginners. And the low FODMAP diet is actually one recommended diet for people with SIBO or conditions of SIBO. I wanted to, again, educate myself on SIBO before really moving forward with it or trying to treat myself. So I got these books and I started listening to the podcast, and I did implement a low FODMAP diet. Let me tell you, it is really hard to follow. You honestly cut out a ton of fruits and vegetables, legumes, literally pretty much all plant-based diet, which is what I was on. So it's been really hard and frustrating that way because I'm back to eating meat more often. I still do a lot of fish, but I eliminated Brussels sprouts, apples, avocados, fermented foods, kombucha, things like that, things that you would think would be good for gut health, but it actually does feed that bacteria in your small intestine. So that is why I am on a low FODMAP diet at this point. I have found it extremely beneficial and helpful thus far, and it's been 3 weeks. And now I actually go in tomorrow to consult with someone about testing for SIBO. So I'm not actually diagnosed with SIBO at this point. But I do meet with someone tomorrow to discuss options and testing and where I will go from there on forward. And I plan to do functional medicine and holistic herbal remedies to cure SIBO or whatever I might be having in my digestive system that's causing me to have frequent bloating, intolerances to foods, and things like that. So in the midst of all of this, I actually did develop Hives. Urticaria is also what it's known as. And this is an intolerance to something, and it's allergic reaction to more than likely a food that I'm eating. And this just means that when you have urticaria, your histamine levels in your body are higher than your antihistamine levels, and it should be vice versa. So your antihistamine levels should be higher than your histamine, not causing that hive. And so I'm trying to work on that right now with my body before I start treatment for SIBO. And so I actually do take D-Hist. This is by Orthomolecular. It is an herbal supplement and capsule. D-Hist is a natural antihistamine. It is composed of stinging nettle and bromelain. And so this is what I'm trying rather than Zyrtec and Benadryl. A few things that actually are correlated with SIBO are high histamine levels, which I have, which also really makes me believe that there's a good possibility I do have SIBO. I have frequent bouts of bloating and just feeling like extremely full after anything that I eat. Constipation, things along those lines. So again, I do go in and see someone tomorrow to consult, and I will take you along through that and keep you updated. I will talk to you guys soon.